Good morning, everyone. I'm Susan Ben. I am the Chief of Technology for LCI and LCIF in Oak Brook, Illinois. And I have the pleasure this morning of speaking to you a little bit about the new portal. The key here is to understand the new portal and how it impacts members so that you can help to spread the word as people are waiting for this change. It's a new look, but it's really not that different. This is an evolution of our digital tools. It's not a revolution. We're bringing together multiple experiences that you may know as MyLion, MyLCI, Insights, Learn, and many other applications into a united and consistent experience. One of the things we've heard for many years from our members and our leaders is, I have to learn so many different ways to navigate. I have to log into too many sites. I don't have all the tools at my fingertips that I need. And this is actually starting with our 3 core systems, MyLCI, MyLion, and Insights. It really takes those familiar pieces that you're used to looking at and brings it into a new experience that we're calling simply the Lion Portal. And the Lion Portal is a consistent experience designed around the user and knowing the identity of that user as they work through their membership, the actions that they may have as a member of a club or an officer of a club, through the things they may do as a leader in their district, in their constitutional area, whether you're a district governor, a council chair, a zone leader, GAT leader, and then finally to explore the association outside of your constitutional area. It's a little bit of a change, but you might ask, whoops, why are we making this change? Well, it's pretty simple. It's money and expense of maintaining systems that are over 15 years old with custom development, the resource amount that it takes to do that. It didn't allow us to bring new capabilities or new features. And also people were saying, is it necessary? Why do we need to change? There's this little thing called cybersecurity. And over the past years, protecting our data and our systems from the many folks who are trying to attack, not just us, but everybody, has become increasingly a challenge for us to be prepared for and ward off. But finally, the Lions were asking, okay, we've been through this before. We remember that little thing called MyLion, and it didn't really meet the expectations we thought it was. Are you going to listen to me this time? And yes, this has taken us a while to do because over the past 18 months, we have had responses from over 5,000 Lions representing all levels that have given us input of how their clubs use technology. Not just our technology, but the other technology that they're using, their social media, their WhatsApp, their own web pages, the different things that they would like to see incorporated as we move in the future, and improvements that they'd like to see in the current systems. Over 250 of those Lions volunteered to be part of our design focus groups, and they participated in helping us understand how to bring simplification and consistency to the work that the Lions need to do to support the work they do for their communities. And from that group, over 75 individuals put on information technology hats and have been performing user acceptance testing, meaning that they are taking the new system out, they are doing their work, they are recording the results, finding if there's something that doesn't work as expected or something that could be improved. And we've gotten some pretty positive feedback from our Lions across our tester group, that they actually have said it's been pretty simple to learn. The guided flows have worked well for learning the adoption. It's great that we don't have to jump around between multiple applications. And some of you may know that this is built on a commercial product called Salesforce. Some of our testers actually use Salesforce in their professional lives, and we had one who said, boy, this is better than at work. So hopefully we're doing something right, but we are listening. And most of all, people would like to know, when is this change coming? We had planned to launch shortly after our convention, but we had this little resolution that passed at our international convention, which changed our membership rules. And it significantly changed the way that members on discount membership programs will count for conventions, both local and international. So we needed to take a look at how we needed to do that work so that people could take advantage of the window to move their license or their membership type to a full paying license by the December 31st semi-annual dues cutoff. So we didn't want to make any changes ahead of that and disturb Lions who may be doing something new in our current systems to do that. So we plan to work toward a launch that will take place starting in January after the semi-annual dues statements go out to our membership. And the way that this will start is, the first thing is we have about 125,000 active users of MyLion and MyLCI and Insights today. Those individuals represent mostly club-level officers and administrators, multiple district leaders, group GAT leaders, and many of the different LCIF leadership. There are also some non-officer members, mostly who are with the clubs that are actively planning service events right now. And then finally, in some areas, we have non-member staff administrators. We will be moving those folks over. They will be invited with a personal email that will go out to them in their language, inviting them to join the new portal, which will require them to click the link, set their password, and they will go right in. There will be no new registration process for them because we know who they are and what they should be able to do once they are in the experience. I wanted to be able to give you a sneak peek. We didn't know if it was going to work, so I had a couple shots. This is what our new homepage looks like. It's a new look. It's got our new branding. It's, once again, the same capabilities as you've had before, but there's an improvement. It's available on all devices. The same application, the same interface. You don't need to download something, so you can use this on your computer, on your tablet, on your phone. So we're very excited about that because that's been one of the things that our members have been asking for. So I have a question. I could show you more screenshots, or would you like to see a real live demonstration? Okay, we're going to try it. We hope the Wi-Fi holds. Okay. As I said, we are now in the portal. This is Doug Feger. And Doug Feger is part of Demo Club. We can't show any personal data, so sorry, these are all fictitious Lions. But Doug happens to be the president of his club. And when Doug comes into this, he's going to see a tile called his membership. Every single member will be able to see this. And this is something our members. What? Oh. Why is it not doing this? Let me get out of here. Thank you. It's showing on there. Okay. Technical people? Why is this not showing? We just had it up.
Can you extend the screen?
I did.
Duplicate?
It's not showing anything. And I lost the monitor here.
Windows P?
It was just doing it before. Yeah. Thank you. It changed while I was doing the PowerPoint. Okay. This is Doug, and we need to get rid of that. Okay. Can everybody see Doug? Okay. Doug is now in our portal, and you can see him. So this is something that a member can't even see today. You can go into your membership, and remember, only people who have access to My LCI today, which are officers, can see this. But every member can see the information that we have about you. You can see the club that they belong to, their number. They can see their personal details, and you can set your personal preferences just as you do today by going to the little picture, and you can change your language, you can change a nickname, something else that you may want to have, as you can do today in My Lion. But also, you can also see the members that you've sponsored. And that's something that a member would have to call their club secretary and say, who does LCI know that I've officially sponsored? And from here, we could go back to our home, or we could jump right to the club that we belong to. And this will bring you to the same place as going from the home to my club. And we can see here that this club has 6 members. They're still growing. They just started. What district they're in, whether they have a specialty, details about the club. All of this is information that we have in My LCI today, but only officers can see it, not members of that club. So this is something new for members of a club. You'll notice that over to the side, Doug has the ability to manage club members, and he has the ability to manage club officers. These buttons show up for him because he is an officer of the club, and he is authorized to do those actions. If another member went into the club, they would see the same screen, but if they don't hold an officer position, they won't see these 2 buttons. But they will be able to view their club officers, and for the first time, a club member can actually view limited information about the members of their club, namely the most requested, which is, how do I contact them? What is their phone number? And when do they join? So this is something that's new for members and will help our club secretaries and club administrators in the future. So it's a good thing for them. When we work in the system, we've done a couple of things to help. One of the things about our previous systems is it was too hard to find how to do things. You'll notice that there's a little I button. When you hover over the I button, it's going to tell you what is the data in this field representing, so that you don't have to go find a paper document somewhere. There are also help links that we will have, which will have quick videos that show you how to do the transaction for the screen. I'm going to just show you an example of the guided flow that we got very positive feedback from. This is someone coming in to manage club officers, because are they creating a new assignment, or are they ending someone's assignment? We just answer a few questions. Creating a new assignment. The next thing that this is a demo system, so it's a little slow. Are you doing something for the current year? Because we are in the current year, and sometimes we have officer changes. Or, as we get ready for the new Lion year, are you putting something in for the new Lion year? I'm going to say I'm doing something for the new Lion year, And it's going to ask me, what is the role are you assigning an officer or an administrator? What is the title? We have our official titles. Those are the titles that show in our Constitution and bylaws. But we also know that many clubs have local titles. You still have the option to have your local titles for your local clubs or districts. And then when I go here, it's going to say, what title would you like this person to be? They're going to be a club president next year. And it's going to show me the members who are eligible to be in this position. And I'm going to pick one. Hopefully they're not assigned to something else. It's going to take a little while. I hate when we do a demo system because it takes a while. It's done, and now it's asking me, do you want to finish or do you want to create another one? So if I'm at the end of the year and I'm changing my roster of officers, I can do it 1, 2, 3 in a row, but I'm going to move out of this. So a very guided experience as we move forward. Looking good so far? I know it's not that exciting. We think it's exciting because the Lions are thinking it's exciting too. The other thing that I think is very important is this little thing called new club application. It was something that seemed to be very difficult in my LCI to do. And we had a lot of feedback about improving the process of club application. Because what are we going to do the next few years? Are we going to charter a lot of new clubs? Is there a little mission 1.5 going on there? Are we going to get a lot of new members? Let's make this easy on the Lions. I've started an application, and sometimes the process of doing an application can be quite confusing. There is a lot of information we need to collect to get that application to process. So we've taken your feedback, and Demo Club is sponsoring a new club, and the name of this new club is called New Club for Europa, and we got it started, but it's going to actually guide me through where am I in the stage of this. My application's in process, my application has been completed and submitted for approval, it has received approval, or potentially we had to cancel this application, but we're not going to cancel any applications, right? They're all going to go through. But as we go through the process, it's going to step the person through editing the club details, managing and adding the club members. Once you've added those club members, we need to add the officers for the club. There needs to be a guiding lion assigned. We need to make sure that we've got all the right data for the officers and get that checked, give you feedback before you submit the application instead of waiting 3 weeks and then finding out you're missing something. There's also extension award, and we can see where we are in this application as to how many members we've added, how many officers we've assigned, what our approval history has been, and we can also, if there are additional files or notes that we need, we can upload them from our computer and submit them along with the application so that this can flow through very quickly and help us in our goals. Does that look easier for you guys? We're here and it's easier. On that, okay. All right. The other thing I wanted to take a look at is, and I'm sorry, this microphone is always in the way, is service activities. You'll note that this is our clubs page, and I was on the club details page, but I don't have to jump from my LCI to my Lion. I can just click on the club service activities, and it'll start showing me my club's most recent service activities. If I'm at the district page, it's going to show me, do you want to see the district activities? Do you want to see club activities? And we can see that this club has had a few different service activities, and this is the reported button. These have been reported, and we have a couple of upcoming activities. We're going to have a healthy Halloween activity with our kids. It's a diabetes awareness activity. And what's best about this is we've heard, please don't make us report too many things. Anyone, any member today can set up a service activity, but they're limited as to some of the data that they can put in. One of the feedbacks we had is, can you please let the person who's doing the service activity add how many volunteers we had, how many people we served, if it was a fundraiser, how many dollars we added. Let them put all that information in. And then we still do have that this report complete up here checkbox needs to be checked by an officer or the chair of service. But that is the only thing that the service chair needs to do in the future. And any member can plan a service activity. And remember I told you that it's mobile? You can do it right at that service activity. You can count how many people were served, and from your phone, you can get your service chair to check that button and have your service reported immediately. Because remember, all of this data goes somewhere. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is there are some things that are not changing. For example, the insights that many people know and love. How many of you use insights? A lot of insights users here. We get a lot of positive feedback. Hey, I don't have to go jumping all over the place. I'm right here. All I had to do is go to the district goals and take a look. It's the same as you've had before. I do want to let you know just one little extra thing, because we're going to be talking about it in the future. There is this new, if you haven't visited it, Mission 1.5 dashboard. You can take a look at, this is what happens when you do a live demo. You can take a look at how the performance is. You have the same capabilities for drill down that you have today. Taking a look at where we are, where your district is. So this is very familiar. The one thing I can tell you is this dashboard is built from that data that comes from our systems. So let's make sure that when we add new members, we don't wait 2 to 3 months or wait till semi-annual bills for that secretary to add that member. People want to get their recognitions for adding members, get that club application submitted as soon as possible so that these numbers are as accurate as possible. We have worldwide report days coming up, and we can use not only the new portal, but our tools today that are going to be there. We are taking our data from our old system, like moving our furniture from an old house to a new house. So put your data in today, report often, and follow so that we can have the most up-to-date information on how we are doing with our membership drive. So that's the main things that I wanted to cover today, and I know that you're all waiting anxiously for Mission 1.5. So thank you for allowing me to share with you, and I'll be here if there's any questions. So thank you once again. Okay. Now I believe we're going to get set up for our Mission 1.5, and I'll turn the stage back over.
I doing more than you? Okay. Okay. Oh, I misunderstood the other day when we reorganized and we voted on the Yeah. Yes.
It's okay, we go on.
Yep, we go. I will do 1 to 4. Yes, thank you.
Go on, don't worry.
Okay.
Even if you go in extra, it doesn't make a difference. I'll do what is required.
There is the clicker. Yes. Good morning. I want to thank each of you who are here. And I know that many of you have already heard about Mission 1.5, but we wanted to send you home with a bit more detail than some of you might have had access to, or the opportunity for questions and answers and feedback from those of you who are leading this new initiative in your areas. You know, we used to say, just we serve. Some of us would say we live to serve, but now we live and grow to serve because we need to meet the growing needs that we see in our communities. To do that, as you can see here on the screen, we really need to dig deep. We need to think about why it is that we are lions, why we stay as lions, and to remember that each lion matters. It's not okay to say, oh, we only dropped 3. You know, on average, every lion, no matter what part of the world, touches the lives of 70 people every year. Interesting statistic, right? In some areas, it's more. So if we think that each lion does or doesn't matter, the truth is they do. They matter to the people that they serve. And so when we think about the importance of our growing and maintaining and sustaining our ability to serve, every member, every Leo, every lion is important to the people who depend on us. And for more than a century, we have been delivering. We have said we're here to serve, and we do it. So it really is our promise to the world that where there is a need, there is a lion. So we need to maintain that truth. We need to build up our storehouse of the most important resource we have. The most important resource we have is our human beings, our members. And so we need to grow to meet the needs that we see in our communities and in the world around us. That's why we're launching Mission 1.5. Now, the biggest changes begin with you. And this initiative requires us to change some of the ways that we've been thinking about membership and our own sustainability in our clubs and in our districts. This is our drive to reach 1.5 million members worldwide by July 1st, 2027. Why? So that we can serve 1 billion people annually. You can pick any statistic you want, really. Research an area of our global causes. One of the ones I saw recently is that 1 in 5 people, 1 out of every 5, experiences food insecurity at some point in their life. You've seen similar data. Okay? 1 out of 4 will experience some form of cancer. You know, so when we say we're going to serve 1 billion people annually, that's only 1 in 8. So it's very realistic that there are more than 1 billion people waiting for our services in every one of our communities collectively around the world. So we need to step up. And we don't want our clubs to burn out. We don't want Lions to say, we're trying to meet so many needs that we're tired and we're quitting. We need to retain our members. And one of the ways we do that is by making sure every one of our clubs is strong. And then where we see gaps, we need to build new clubs to serve in those communities. And we need to support those members with leadership and meaningful service. That's really the secret to Mission 1.5. But we're going to dig down into some of the strategies that we've developed to support you in reaching your local goals. This is a bit different from our membership approach in the past. Now we're setting the target. The global action teams will be supporting the district teams and every club in reaching the targets. But every single multiple district or single district has a target. And it's not based on wishful thinking. It's actually based on in-depth research. We've looked at membership in your areas in the past. We've looked at your growth trends. We've looked at major urban centers versus rural centers. We've looked at the potential to grow our service in each and every one of your areas. Some of you will have higher targets than others, but that's based on your potential. And so we want to make sure you understand that these goals, if we focus on them, these goals are very achievable.
The needs around us, they are ever increasing.
Why we should care?
We don't have enough people to serve.
More hands
equals more service.
More individuals participating in this organization.
More hands makes work easier.
We've got to do something different to keep growing.
The more Lions we have around the world, the more service we can do.
So that brings us to the very important question. So why grow? We are a service club organization. Our clubs are happy when they meet. Our clubs are happy when they serve their communities. Our clubs are happy when they can exchange views, go out and meet the civic leaders, comply with the local requirements, work according to what is required, make some kind of needs assessments and be working, report to Lions International. Well, sometimes clubs don't even report, but those that report, they are very happy. Why do we need to take this message of growing membership to the clubs? Clubs are aware of it. They'll invite whom they wish to invite. They'll invite anyone that they believe could be a part of their club. What really needs to be done separately? What is this extra kind of a work or an obligation that we are talking of in Mission 1.5? There's a reason to grow. And the reason is that we are here in this organization. We've been here, we've been in our clubs, we've been in our districts for so many years. And as we all know that we are a service club organization, we love what we do in our clubs. We would like that service to continue in the future. We would like that service to be expanded in the future. In those parts of Europe where Lions service may not still have reached, you would like to reach out service to even those parts of Europe. And in those districts and multiple districts where we are already serving our communities, there are so many other evolving needs, evolving according to the requirements of today, that need to be answered, that need to be met. We would like to be participating in meeting those needs as well. We need to be creating, the true service delivery points We need to become a stronger stay a stronger organization. We are the world's #1 service club organization, but it's important to continue to be the #1 service club organization. Just being the #1 service club organization does not assure us that we will stay at the top spot forever. We need to be doing something. We need to be stretching. We need to be expanding for the simple reason that we could be having discussions at any point at any level. International board discusses, has deliberations, has brainstorming sessions, comes to decisions. There are various committees and study groups at the constitutional area level. There are discussions that take place and deliberations at the meetings of the Council of Governors and various other committees, and then at the districts and the district cabinets. But do we realize that the real action of service takes place only at the club level? Do we realize that the membership growth takes place only at the club level? That the membership droppage also takes place only at the club level? It's the lions in the Lions clubs that engage in service. Every other level in this organization supports the service initiative. Every other level in this organization provides the support for administration, for making things easier. Now, if that is the fact, and if we want this service to continue in the future, and if we want the service to be expanded, we definitely need new members and new clubs. You and me, my dear friends, we are simply perishable commodities. We are here today, we'll be gone tomorrow. So we need to hand over the baton. We need to pass on that legacy to the next generation. That is the real challenge that we are finding an answer to through Mission 1.5. Getting the next level, getting the next generation of volunteer leaders into our organization, handing over this baton to them. For if at the rate that we are going, and that's a concern in many parts of the world, even in Europe, in the last 5 years alone, there's been a loss of membership, a net loss of about 24,000 members. Now, that's a matter of concern. There are some multiple districts that lose members almost about 800 to 1,000 each year. In fact, amongst all the multiple districts of Europe, it's my proud privilege to say that there's only one multiple district that has grown in the last 5 years, and that's the multiple district of Austria, and it has grown by 60 members, 60. 60 members net growth in 5 years. Every other multiple district is losing members, despite the fact that Europe is one of the greatest constitutional areas we have. The best kind of thought leadership, the best kind of projects, individuals with the highest level of education, the best kind of contacts with the civic authorities, with the political leaders, with the other communities, with the other service club organization. Great passion amongst the lions of Europe. But somehow this membership is declining, and we need to find an answer to that, and we need to find it together. Because we are proud of this organization. We are proud of this lion's lapel pin that we wear. We are proud of what we do in our clubs. So we must find that answer together so that the story of service, this legacy of service, continues in the future. This is an answer that must be found by us together, all of us working together, because we must then be developing what is called the new blueprint. And this blueprint is Mission 1.5. It's no rocket science. There's essentially nothing new in it except that it codifies or records the dream, the vision, the aspirations, the hope, the expectations, and the commitment of the lions of the world to continue to be the #1 service organization and to continue to grow. The figure 1.5 million has eluded the lions for too many years, for too many decades. It's now our ethical and moral duty. It's now a challenge that we have voluntarily taken upon ourselves to be able to grow to 1.5 million so that we stay this more robust organization. We build better relationships. We have more fellowship. We have more contacts. Please remember, We are not looking for numbers alone. Mission 1.5 is not a quest for numbers. It is a quest for lions. It's a quest for members, because every member brings in new hopes, new aspirations, new thoughts, new contexts, new pockets, new ways of looking at things, new perspectives. And every new lion represents a leader in the future. For those of us who are even serving at the high offices today, we were new members on a particular day. We were inducted as the members of our clubs, and we didn't even know that we'd become the president of our club, leave aside the president of Lions International, or serve at any high office in Lions International. Everybody starts at that new member level. We need to get those new members. In those new members will be the future leaders at the different levels in this organization. Amongst those new members will be the future club presidents and the secretaries and the individuals who will give direction to our clubs. And that is extremely important, that blueprint. And in doing so, we need to customize it by areas. You know, one size doesn't fit all. Our friends in Oakbrook, we have our division manager here. We have other membership specialists from Oakbrook here. But they cannot devise what is required in every part of the world. You've heard of the GMA, that's a global membership approach. Even the global membership approach has to be regionalized. The approach that works in Macedonia will not work in Germany. The approach that works in Germany may not work in Sweden. The approach that works in Sweden would not work in the United States of America. The approach that works in the United States of America would not work in Brazil. The approach that works in Brazil would definitely not work in India. And the approach that works in India will not work in Japan. So the approach has to be local. You need to understand what your focus has to be. In those parts of Europe where retention levels are very strong, where retention levels are the best in the world, I need to congratulate the Lions and the Lions leadership of Europe, because you have the best retention levels in the entire world of Lions. Your emphasis naturally has to be on inducting more members. You're already doing more than a reasonably good level of work as far as retaining members is concerned. I do understand you'd like to do it even better. I do understand that you'd like clubs to be even more attractive, that nobody leaves our organization. That's a great goal to work to. But as it is, the level at which you are, it's much above the level of the rest of the world. But we need to get more robust and more stronger in inviting new members. We need to get more robust in initiating more new clubs, in chartering new clubs, in starting club branches, in getting younger people, in getting women into the organization. There are multiple districts in Europe, there are districts in Europe which have 11 or 12% women members only. And there are districts in Europe, in your constitutional area, which have 50+% of women members. So one could learn from the other. And there is a work to be done according to the local needs and the local requirements. And we believe that the Lions and the Lions leadership in Europe will understand the local needs, will create those networks, will create, incentivize growth. We need to recognize our Lions who are working well, doing very well, incentivize growth, and create excitement. And once that excitement is created, that's the time that the story would really continue. The issue thereafter is of what this strategy is all about. No matter what you see on the screen, as far as I'm concerned, Mission 1.5 is about answering one question only. What am I going to do to support the growth process? Everybody else will do so much. There are individuals at different levels who will do so much. Our international president, Dr. Patty Hill, at the opening session of the recently concluded board meeting at Cairo, created history, where she openly brought out slides. Which board member and which executive officer has inducted or invited at least one new member during this year? Which executive officer and which member of the board has chartered at least one club during this year? And she said that this needs to be brought out transparently and this needs to be recognized at par with any other kind of contribution in this association. I recommend I really recommend you do it in your Council of Governors meetings, in the meetings of your district cabinets. There should be total transparency. Leadership is not about a position. Today, the organization needs to grow. Today, the great lions of Europe need to add more members to their clubs, to their districts. And today, so Mission 1.5 is about, what am I going to do? What are you going to do? When are you going to invite at least 1 or 2 or 3 members to join your home club or any other club in your district or your multiple district or anywhere in Europe? When are you going to play an important role in chartering a new club? When are you going to play an important role in starting a club branch? When are you going to play an important role in revitalizing a club that has otherwise become weak and that may be lost in the next few months or in the next few years? If you and me and all of us, leaders at different levels, take upon ourselves this responsibility, we will then definitely be working towards making our organization stronger. Individuals at different levels, starting with the executive officers, are assuming this responsibility, as I just told you. But Mission 1.5 is about owning up responsibility, leading by example, being a role model before the lions of your districts, of your multiple districts, because it's a personal opinion. Lions do not follow or do not do what their leaders tell them to do. Lions do what they see their leaders do. You know, we could be going to all the meetings and seminars and making important, very nice presentations. The lions would come there, clap, and go away. But if the lions see us actually working, leaders who wear different badges, governors, vice governors, past governors, council chairs, past council chairs, region chairs, zone chairs, club presidents, club secretaries, coordinators, district coordinators, multiple coordinators, district chairpersons, all of us who wear those badges, when lions see that these individuals are actually working, they are actually inviting 1 or 2 or 3 new members to join clubs. They are actually supporting the club chartering process, the new club initiation process. That's the time the excitement will start getting built up. That's the time the message will go deep down. That's the time the message will become genuine. That's the time the message will become authentic. Before that, the message is only words. That's the time the message would become an emotion that would connect the individuals, an emotion that would send out that important requirement and that message to the lions that we need to grow because we love this organization. We want this organization to continue in the future. We want this organization to become even more stronger in the future. And there is no other way, because we are an organization of lions that come together through the Lions Clubs. So if the organization's got to be stronger, we've got to have more lions, and we've got to have more clubs, and we've got to have stronger clubs. That's what Mission 1.5 is all about. And over to you, Constitutional Area Leader Elena.
Yes. Thank you. European leaders, we have an incredible challenge in front of us. Mission 1.5 will be delivered by the Global Action Team. The Global Action Team is the team that is working on this project, but needs to help and support all leaders. The GAT will be driving engagement at the club at district level, which is critical to what we are trying to achieve. I want to take a look at the roles and responsibilities and how key leaders will be leading and contributing to success. Leadership has a big part to play, leading by example, as said before Vice President AP. Success will only be driven by everyone, sponsoring new members and finding underserved areas to form new clubs, including club officer. The personal commitment
of every single Lions is the key of the success. We have a team in Europe, I have a team with 11 area leaders. I have the honor to coordinate this group. Area leaders support the all GAT programs, and along with the GAT specialist and the Mission 1.5 team, we want to have an open communication with the GAT coordinators at all levels of our organization. GAT area leaders are dedicated Lions, positionally, regionally, to help oversee and coordinate global membership focus, training, and oversee and lead by example Mission 1.5 in your area. You can see the team in the slide. They are the direct point of contact for the GMA focus, district goals, Mission 1.5, and all other support needs that your district and club needs to continue to grow and serve their communities. Working together is the magic words. We have talked about roles and strategies, but let's take a look at how each level of Lions plays a role in achieving our Mission 1.5 goals. Executive leadership defines objectives and determines strategies. International leadership develops targets and goals for each region of the world. Lions International provides support and resources, and district and club execute the plans developed by leadership. In the Constitutional Area 4, we are creating a team of specialists that support the mission. We would like to involve every leader's Lions in the Mission 1.5 execution. As said before, Vice President AP, we would involve the past district governor, past council chair, past council chair, past international director, also club president, a past club president, all people passionate in membership. When we speak of a team or a network or task force, is a not recognized team, but is a group that have the attitude for membership, is passionate about new members or new clubs, and can support our work, and that of our GAT area leaders and coordinator do. Please, Vice President AP.
So what's the objective? There has to be a goal, and the goalpost must be set, and it must not be a shifting goalpost. It's a commitment. It's a very difficult commitment to make. And the commitment is to be at 1.5 million at the end of the year 2027, definitely, more than 1.5 million. This commitment means that supposing we are at 1.5 million plus somewhere in March and April, but in June that's a dip and we are below 1.5 million, that's not called meeting the commitment. The commitment is at the end of the Lions fiscal year 26-27, the membership of the association should grow beyond 1.5 million. That's the commitment. The executive officers, when they sat amongst themselves and they considered, they agreed to stick their necks out as a turtle would and say, here we are, we stand right in front of the lions of the world, and we ask the lions of the world to accept the challenge as we ourselves accept the challenge to grow the association. Each individual works, each individual contributes, each individual plays a role, each club plays a role, and that's extremely important. So in getting to 1.5 million, every club is important. We may not realize, but there are somewhere between 30 to 35% of the clubs in the entire world that do not induct even one member in a year. I'm not talking of net membership growth. I'm talking of induction of at least one member in a year. A club may lose more than one member and may still have a negative growth. That's a separate issue. But at least adding one member in a year. The club has a president, the club has a secretary, the club's got an elected board. The club's got members. How is it possible that we will have clubs in our organization, clubs that we are proud of, clubs that we say are the delivery points of service to our communities, clubs that we say comprise or constitute this organization that we love so much, which we claim and we rightfully claim to be the #1 service club organization of the world, that the clubs cannot invite even one member? So often have the Lions come back and said to us, it's difficult to find a member. I asked them, how many contacts do you have on your smartphone? And the reply comes, each one. Sometimes individuals have multiple smartphones. Many of you would be carrying multiple smartphones as well, but each phone has 300, 500, 700 contacts. Now, do you want us to believe that out of 300, 500, or 700 contacts, there's not one individual whom you believe is worthy or capable or has the capacity to join a Lions Club? Now, if that be so, then I must make a comment that you've been spending your time with the wrong kind of people. I mean, it's as simple as that. How does it happen? It simply happens because we believe it's not for me to do, it's for somebody else to do. It's a goal of the organization, but it's not that I have to do it, that I have to contribute it. There are so many other members and everybody else will do it, and especially if I'm wearing a badge. My job is to go and give speeches and make presentations at seminars and in various kinds of meetings. My job is not to be actually going and working there. Now that's the re-strategizing in this Mission 1.5. In Mission 1.5, every Lion, especially every Lion leader who claims to be a leader, wearing a badge today or yesterday, must actually be a doer. If you are not a doer, you disqualify, as far as Mission 1.5 is concerned, to be recognized as a leader, put very simply, not to be quoted. But that's a fact. Every club to induct members, every Lion leader to be playing a part for bringing in new members, every district to be chartering clubs. How is it possible that we have forgotten what it is to charter clubs? I talk to some of the area leaders in Europe and they come back and tell me, our districts tell us, how do we charter clubs? Whose duty is it to charter clubs? How do we go about chartering a new club? This is like teaching fish how to swim. You would remember a movie when one of those films that I saw when I was a child, little child, a movie called Born Free, shot somewhere in Africa where they picked up a lion cub and they domesticated a cub. They really looked after the cub very well. The family loved the cub. The cub loved to be the family, but when the cub had grown to a certain size, they believed that it was important to leave the cub back in the jungles. They took the cub and left the cub back in the jungles and wanted to see how the cub behaved and how the cub adapted. And to their extreme astonishment, that they found that even some of the weakest animals in the club could come and injure this cub, come and injure and hurt this cub, and this cub, or this semi-grown cub, was not in a position to make a kill. That's because the cub had survived in an environment which was not the cub's environment. So the cub needed to get hurt. The cub needed to get hit by those animals, and then the cub gathered the strength and ultimately evolved as the lion who would make the kill. So if our districts have forgotten, the districts will have to go through the labor and the rigors of learning back what it is to charter a club. What does it mean the district has forgotten? It's the duty of the district leaders to be doing that. What are our vice governors doing? What are our coordinators doing? The district coordinators and the multiple district coordinators doing? What are our past governors doing? What are you and I doing in those very districts where our clubs exist? And we say those districts are not even chartering one club in a year? It is simply an unacceptable situation. If we are to stay in this organization, we must remember You and I are here today because somebody invited us to be a member and inducted us to be a member of a club. You and I are here today because somebody chartered your and my home club. It is now like repayment of a debt to the organization by inviting more members and helping charter more clubs. This is a debt that you and I have to repay to this organization, especially as we claim that we love this organization so well. And when we talk of growth in Mission 1.5, it's inclusive growth. Every area of the organization would grow, every area would develop, and every area would become positive. That's the dream of Mission 1.5. The target given to Constitutional Area 4 for 23-24 is 176 new clubs during this Lions year. Now, this 176 is not a figure that just came out of the blue. A research was done to find out that in the last 5 years, the total number of clubs chartered in the entire constitutional area of Europe was 422. The total number of clubs cancelled in the entire constitutional area was 839. When you divide 839 by 5, you get 175 or 176. So that's the goal which was put. If the constitutional area has to grow, we must be able to charter more clubs than the clubs that are closed down, than the clubs that are lost. We often do not have any control on the clubs that are being cancelled, but we can act proactively to create more clubs to be able to grow this organization so that we continue to serve, so that we continue to remain the #1 service club organization, so that we continue to remain the robust service delivery organization on this planet Earth. That's what this commitment is all about. This is the target which has been rolled out to Constitutional Area 4. The constitutional area which has provided wonderful leadership to the world. The area which has cultures of the world. The area where the civilizations of the world have begun and grown. The area of the world that is so proud of its own history. The area of the world where diversity is so largely written on your face, on the face of this area. The area of the world that has provided such great thought leadership to this organization. It's that area of the world that must respond to this important need. Need because the organization needs you. Need because your communities need you. Need because Lionism in Europe needs you to grow. Because at the rate at which the decline is coming around, 24,000 members net loss in 5 years, do you know what that translates into in the next 25 years? In the next 25 years, nothing would be left of this great organization. The greatest gift to mankind in the 20th century has been Lions Clubs International, and we will lose that greatest gift. Do we not want to leave this legacy for the future generations? And that is the important question that we need to answer. And that answers have to be found through your and my actions. And it's my belief, it's the belief of the leadership of this organization that together we will find those answers. Over to you, President.
Is it clear so far? There is a need, and we all have a part to play. So how do we get to success? We have to lean on what works. We've learned some of the things that do not work. And ignoring the challenge does not work. So, training and development is really an important part of it, but we really don't know if what we've learned in a seminar or what we've learned at a workshop is of value until we put it into practice. So, to support you, we have updated a number of the resources. That includes the Global Action Team on the deck of slides that they have, that I'm sure many of you have seen in meetings already during the first quarter of this year. And our area leaders, would you stand up and be acknowledged, please? Each of our constitutional area leaders here in Europe. I'll wait for translation. Please stand up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. These are our local experts. They are there ready and willing to help in every multiple district and single district. And I know you've been hosting regional meetings to make sure people understand the mission and the importance of implementing it directly at the club level. If you prefer to review things by e-learning, we've updated the Learn Center online courses as well. And as we've said, there are any number of in-person trainings that have happened or are planned. The ones that are planned will depend on your regional needs. Some of you might have discovered you need more guiding lions for these new clubs. So that training will be planned and will be happening. Others need training on how do we register the new club? How do we get new members? And that will be planned or is already in plans and will be delivered. But it's regionalized based on your strategic plans that you develop. So be in touch with these amazing coordinators as well as your multiple district and district action teams so that you can get the most out of this launch, this first year of Mission 1.5. To make it easier for you, our technology team, and you heard from Sue earlier today, they have created a landing page, one web page that you can go to with the links that you need, whether those are links about Mission 1.5 itself, the global membership links, retention, new club, any of those. Just go to lionsclubs.org/global. And that's the landing page where you don't have to go looking for everything or use the search engine and type in what you think is the title for the resource you need. You'll be able to find it right there. Now, developing the detailed plan. Every club actually should have a membership growth plan, right? Some of our clubs have forgotten how to do that, and they need your support and your mentoring. But we need these detailed plans so that we know what resources and materials to supply. As you go back to your local areas, and especially as you go back to your home club, please invest the time, inspire your club to say, yes, we should have a membership growth. Yes, we should have a plan. How many of you have found that just wishing for things makes them happen? Yeah, not so much. Action makes things happen. So develop a plan with your club or your zone and integrate that into the district plan, because our plan for Mission 1.5 will work. I know it will work because we can help clubs learn the skills they need. Have you ever met a lion, maybe one in your club, who has never, ever, 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 never sponsored another member? Sure you have. They just come and they say, I enjoy the service. Sometimes I refer to them as the hoarders. You know when you hoard things? You keep them to yourself. You are a hoarder. They like what they're doing. They just want to serve and they're not inviting others. We need to teach them to open up and invite others to come as well. We can teach that. We can teach clubs how to have a membership drive. We can teach clubs how to market the opportunities that membership brings to others in our community. We can teach all of that, and we can customize it for their local community at the right time, at the right place. You know, how many of your clubs get into things like Christmas markets? Oh, please tell me that there will be a QR code on every sign, every canopy that goes up that is how to become a member, that you'll be inviting people. Please tell me that you won't miss these opportunities, that you'll customize your membership drive, but then you'll do it again in the new year, and you'll do it again in the spring. We have to make sure that everything our club gives back to our communities is sustainable. And that means there have to be active serving lions next year and the next year and in 5 years and in 10 years. We need an association, much like the one that Melvin Jones created. He created an association where growth was part of its DNA. Growth was what he did. He drove all across countries. He took trains, boats, and planes to grow the association. We need to get that growth DNA, that growth hormone, back into our association. And it's rewarding. I was so excited. I sponsored 4 new members in the first quarter. Why? Because they were interested and wanted to know how to join. I told them about the amazing things we do and the opportunities we offer, and they wanted to get into that. They wanted to serve. They wanted to be a part of changing the world. I didn't go out for numbers, because that's not what it's about. It's about giving people the opportunity to make a difference and to be a part of our amazing clubs. Yes, there are some awards and recognitions that go with that, but I'm going to invite Vice President AP to talk about awards and recognitions.
In our organization, awards and recognitions are always important. We are all volunteers that that form this organization. So for those individuals that really serve to make success out of the initiatives of our organization, if we recognize them, that's our way of saying thank you to them. It's also a way of encouraging others who have not participated maybe in that initiative, that if you step forward and you participate, we will be saying thank you to you as well. It's the association's way of expressing its gratitude to those who contribute to the success of that particular program, to the success of that particular initiative. And so, every lion will have the opportunity in this Mission 1.5 to be recognized. Every lion, definitely, starting with individual lions, starting with individuals serving in some capacities like the zone chairs, the region chairs, the district coordinators, the multiple coordinators, the district governors, the council chairs, the area leaders, all of them, but most importantly, every lion and every club will have the opportunity of earning those recognitions. There are pins, there are plaques, there are patches, there are presidential medals, there are leadership medals, and those details are available on the Lions website. And I'm also sure that through the area leaders and the network of GAT in Europe, the information about the awards and recognitions would already have gone down to the districts or will go down very soon. But in any case, the details are available. If you can scan this QR code, you can get to those details. However, the multiple districts and the districts are free to initiate your own local recognition initiatives as well. I was very impressed with the initiative that one of the multiple districts, I think it was MD 105, that they have initiated, that they would be recognized individuals who help in setting up a club branch. They say there is nothing so far in Lions International. That's also food for thought for us. We'll look at it at the international level, definitely. But they have not waited for something to come through Lions International. They have already initiated it at their multiple district level. Similarly, if you believe that something works in your district, in your multiple district, and that's the kind of recognition that will inspire and motivate the Lions and the Lions clubs to be able to perform better, please go ahead and do it. You just need the approvals of your district cabinet or your council of governors. You can do that locally. And if that's a wonderful idea, please share that with your area leader, your constitutional area leader, or any one of us. We would like to learn from that so that the Lions in other parts of the world could also benefit out of what is coming to your mind. And I've always stated that the thought leadership of the association rests to a great extent in Europe. So we look forward to those great ideas from you as well. But most importantly, the real bottom line is it's about every individual responsible Lion acting with that responsibility. It's about every Lion who is proud of wearing this Lion's lapel pin, discharging that obligation of being a good Lion. To be a good Lion today has a new connotation. As per the needs of the association today, to be a good Lion also essentially includes inviting others to join the organization, playing an important part in chartering clubs and starting club branches, playing an important part in trying to reactivate clubs, make those clubs stronger, which are becoming weaker and we may lose them in future. That is now an important and an integral part of the definition of a good Lion, something that you and I believe that we are. So we need to get into that action mode. And of course, there are recognitions alone. Inviting our constitutional area leader.
Thank you very much. Communication. Communication is an important part of our program and is absolutely critical to our success. Communication is also critical to engaging our Lions and our club in Mission 1.5. We will all need to be active communicators to create awareness and excitement for this program. Thank you. It is important to use all of our channels to promote Mission 1.5. So we can create awareness, excitement, engagement, and growing in membership. Use social media to connect with Lions, our communities. We have a Facebook page for Constitutional Area 4 to tell the story. Add information in your club and district newsletter. Talk about Mission 1.5 at Lions event and club events. Make sure you have information on your district and multi-district website. Lions International is also leveraging its communication channel to amplify the message and the mission. And we have also created, the Lions International has created a special Mission 1.5 web page to help Lions to learn about the initiative and find resources that can help them take action. This is a great destination for Lions who want to see what Mission 1.5 is about. Please share the page with Lions so they can learn more and more to help to grow.
Friends, you see this those three words, we will grow. There are two more words which are in brackets and which are not visible. And that should be, we will act to grow. We will grow is a statement of intent. Intent, it's a very good intent. But unless that intent is backed by action, that intent doesn't help. Intentions do not move mountains. Bulldozers do. And those bulldozers have to be our own actions. And as I've said, it's got to start with you and me, with each one of us. Each one of us, first of all, has to take responsibility of inducting a few members, playing that important role to demonstrate, to be a role model to the others in our own districts, in our own multiple districts. But at the end of the day, you and I have to be responsible for our home clubs. Nobody who claims to be a leader of this organization can have a home club that is not in good shape, that is not in good health, where membership is declining, where service is not reported, where meetings are not regular, and where meetings are not interesting and engaging for the Lion members. It's got to start with the responsibility of taking care of one's own club. If you and I say that we are responsible leaders of our own districts, and we represent our districts in important decisions that are taken, we vote on those decisions, we participate in that decision-making process, then there's a cost to pay for that leadership, and we have to be responsible for the growth of at least one, being in positive for our own district. We have to be responsible for our own multiple district. If we start assuming and we start taking up that responsibility, starting with oneself, the role that an individual can play at an individual level, and then ensuring that the club is vibrant, your and my home club is vibrant, ensuring that your and my home district stays positive at the end of the year, which may be challenging, for which we may be required to work, for which we may be required to assist the currently serving members of the cabinet and assist them with ideas, assist them with programs, assist them with certain projects, assist them with membership drives. And membership drive is once again not about numbers. It's about making the organization stronger so that we may be able to serve more. This is the kind of role that we have to play. It's not about having very engaging and very so-called successful membership seminars and membership discussions, because membership does not grow in membership seminars. Membership grows only through the action of the clubs at the club level. That having said that, just for your, yeah, you want to clap? Please go ahead. We will now come to the wrap-up. And I invite our international president to provide that wrap-up. But before we get there, just a minute, President. Can I have a confirmation from all of us that there has to be that transformation in your and my working style, and that is the only new thing in Mission 1.5. Otherwise, GAT has always existed. GMA has been referred for the last few years. We have the structure of the volunteers. We have the goals that are set and so on and so forth. If there is one change, it is the change of the mindset. And once the mindset is attuned, and we can get our mindset towards achieving that positive growth by playing that stellar role, that important role, then only the initiative of Mission 1.5 would be successful. So my question to you is, are you ready to be the doers now? Now that wasn't strong. No. It's up to you, my friends. If Europe has to turn around, the willpower that has to be reflected in the response and thereafter through the follow-up action has to be more robust. So I give you one more chance. Are you ready to be the doers? Yes. That sounds good. I wish you all the best and thank you, and over to you, President.
All right, now we certainly know that you're ready to be the doers, to take action. And in fact, this is part of the message that I know your clubs have been hearing already. We begin to change the world one person at a time. Sometimes that person needs to be me, or you, or both of us together. So I ask you as we wrap up, what are the key takeaways from today? What will you make sure to bring forward when you are in your district, in your club next week and next month? I hope that one of them is that each and every one of us makes the commitment to lead by example. That would be one. Another would be simply, if we always do what we've always done, we will become extinct. Translation, thank you. I'm going to say it again. If we always do what we've always done, we will become extinct. But we have this amazing human ability. It's called the ability to learn and to change our behaviors. And so when you reflect on what does it take for every club to be healthy and growing, how will you lead that? What can you do? Who will you bring around you to be a part of that? How will you build your team of believers, of doers, so that truly your club will grow and expand its service impact? And then how do you purposefully and intentionally infect your entire zone with that virus called enthusiasm, with that virus called growth, and then spread that beyond to your district? And if you are a district leader, then to start it from the district to the zones and regions and the clubs. Those would be the takeaways I'd want you to focus on. Yes, our team will give you training, they'll direct you to resources, but it's actions that change the world. The child who is hungry can't wait until the third quarter of the year to be fed. They need lions standing ready to serve every day. We need to strengthen our service impact. And we have the ability to do that. I thank you for your time and attention today. Once again, if every one of our Global Action Team leaders would stand and be recognized, please, and every district governor would stand and be recognized, please. Stand and stay standing. If our zone and region chairs would stand and be recognized, our international directors and past international directors stand and be recognized. Anybody wearing a badge, stand and be recognized. You are the leaders of our association. Let's lead by example, and let's grow this incredible association that we love. Thank you so much.